sit back, get comfortable, and let's dive into what I went through from 2021 to 2023. Now, in 2021, there was no more quarantine. We were able to leave the house. School was back in session and grocery stores were opening up and you still had to wear your masks and whatever. So I was just like, oh, okay, no more quarantine. This is fun. Still kind of like scared about the whole thing, as we all were with the literally COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff. So, I was cautious, wearing masks and whatever else. And I went back to school to finish out my 8th grade year. Whatever, having a great time. Here comes summer, I graduate 8th grade and I'm having a good time. Hanging out with everyone, we're going downtown, walking around, just having fun. Then I sort of start developing this weird idea of like anxiety. I've had anxiety my whole life, but I started developing this like weird, like, what if I have a panic attack? And I was just like, okay, I don't know what this is about. And then I would just think about it. I would be up at night looking at my symptoms, being like, panic attack this, panic attack that, just thinking about panic attack all the time. So then I was really dealing with acne so bad during this time. And I went to like a dermatologist to see what I should do. And I start having this almost panic attack there where my heart rate is really, really high. And I don't know why. And it's just like my heart rate going. And I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm like freaking out. And it's just like this whole thing. So they prescribed me this tube of tretinoin. I think it's tretinoin. I don't know how you say it. I'm just going to say tretin. Let's look it up so I don't sound stupid as I tell this story. Tretinoin. I got prescribed tretinoin and I was sent on my way. And I was like, whoa, why am I feeling this way? So weird. I start my tretinoin, having a good time. My skin's doing really good. I'm like, whoa, hold on. So as the days go on, I'm getting even worse anxiety, like heart palpitating, not really palpitating like how it speeds up and beats fast and pounds. It was like skipping beats all the time. When I would like bend over to pick up something, my heart would do flip-flops, going insane. That sent me into like some sort of real life horrible anxiety attack where I would be freaking out and I would be, my heart. So then I noticed when I started going places, I would be fearful of a panic attack happening, and I would be fearful of making a fool out of myself in public or having to be rushed to the hospital from an ambulance out in public. Like, it was just this whole entire thing. And I think I was leaving Home Depot during this time and I was bending over to pick up something and my heart was doing the flip-flops, and I looked up what that could mean and it was telling me heart failure and all this other kind of stuff, and I was just like, great. I'm dying. So then the days go on and I'm more scared to leave the house for whatever reason. If I had a real life heart failure, it wouldn't be caused by leaving the house. It would be, it wouldn't only happen if I left the house. It would be consistent. But my mindset was, oh, I leave the house and my heart fails. I don't know. It was so stupid. So then I'm hanging out downtown with some of my friends. This night, I remember it so well. And this was in 2021, just to keep you on track. August 2021. I'm hanging out downtown with one of my friends, and then we're waiting for my other group of friends to pull up, and we're at this one pizza place, and I'm like sitting, like rocking around on the chair, acting fool, and then I fall in front of everyone, and the whole place goes silent, and I was so embarrassed, and that was just like a little thing about it. So then the rest of the friend group pulls up, and we're all hanging out, and towards the end of the hangout, we obviously don't have our cars or anything like that, because how old was I in 2021? 14 or 15? I don't know. And we're sitting in the back of this place. I forget which place it was, but it has like the seating in the back. So we're all sitting back there. And all of a sudden, I just slip into a full-blown panic attack. Like full-blown, like hands are numb and tingly and they're cramped up like this. Where they literally are cramped up like this, and my lips are cramped up like this. My eyes are like going like this. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like trying to pull out my phone, trying to dial my mom, and my hands aren't working to dial, which is really traumatic. And then I finally like am dialing my mom. I'm like, I'm having when I go into a panic attack, it's not like I'm freaking out. I'm more of like, I'm having a panic attack right now and I don't know what I'm doing and what's going on and I'm going to die. So my mom's like 30 minutes away at the grocery store. She can't do much. And she's like, okay, hold on. She was at a really busy grocery store. So she had to like wait in line to check out and she was going to come pick me up. And thinking that she was 30 minutes away sent me even more deeper into this spiral of, oh my gosh, I can't get home to my safe space now. Like I was just thinking about everything possibly that could go wrong. Like if I need an ambulance, if I need this, like whatever was going on, I was freaking out. So my friends are just sitting there, just like over in the corner, and they're just like, and I'm waiting for my mom to get there. And it just keeps going on and on and on. The minutes keep going on. And it feels like I'm like outside of my body, like looking at myself. And it was a very traumatic experience, not only because my friends were there sort of like sitting there not knowing what to do. Workers were coming back being like, we're going to close soon. And my mom was so far away. It was a whole entire thing that sent me so deep into a panic attack that I don't even remember much of what was going on. All I could remember is my hands barely being able to work to dial the phone and me thinking what's going to happen when they have to haul me out in an ambulance. So the time goes on and goes on and goes on. I don't even remember how I got out of it, but all of a sudden it just was over after an hour-ish, I would say. And I was still downtown and my mom was like caught up in traffic, whatever. And I called her. I'm just like, okay, I feel better now. I'm going to continue hanging out and I think I'm okay. So then I like calmed down. I'm feeling like, happy now. I'm like feeling like really good because I was feeling so horrible for the past like 45 minutes to an hour to now I'm feeling so good. So then I'm just like, wow, I feel so good. So like I felt rebirthed. So I went outside, I was like walking downtown, I was just feeling good. And even though I got out of it and I was fine and I felt good, when I went home that night, it was something that really traumatized me. Even though I got over it there and I was fine there, it was something that really traumatized me. And it went on for a while. The whole rest of that 2021, it was getting worse and worse. I was supposed to be signing up for high school, but I had to do online because I was so afraid of this panic attack that I felt. I was so afraid of it happening again that I was so afraid to leave my house. And I couldn't hang out with my friends a lot because I was afraid to leave the house and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And it just went on and on and on. And then in 2022, it just kept going on and on, to the point where I was even afraid to drive out of my neighborhood. So after the next few months of me afraid to leave the house, trying to go places and trying to do stuff, and my friends inviting me to places and me saying no, I'm just at home. Then I do some research about this tretinoin that I'm on. And obviously Google's going to tell you all this other sort of stuff of, if you look up any symptoms with Google or anything, it's going to tell you something bad. So I'm just like, can tretinoin cause anxiety? And the thing that I read at the time said yes. It can. But I think now looking back at it, I think you can get tretinoin in pill form. And I was having it just like a topical treatment. I think I was reading the pill form one that could cause that. So then my brain's like, oh, the tretinoin, that's the reason. So then I stop using it. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I figured out what was wrong. I don't have to worry about this ever again. It was the tretinoin. So the anxiety just kept continuing. It continued on and on and on, and it was brutal. Sometimes I would go places, I went to one of my friends' both of my friends' birthday parties, and it was really hard getting there, but I still did it. And it took a lot out of me, but I still did it. So then fast forward to summer 2022. This anxiety is the worst it's ever been. I don't know what was going on, but it sort of developed in a cough sort of thing too, where I would like cough and then think my throat was closing up. So it would send me into psychosis basically. So then I remember one time picking up my friend from her house to bring her here to hang out. And this was during my like vlogging period where I would like vlog all my stuff. Like I would vlog just around the house because I wouldn't leave it. And I uploaded it to this very channel. This very channel. And so this was my vlog era. And I was vlogging my like experience, like picking up my friend, doing like a hangout here or whatever. So then when it came to having to drop her off back home, it really, really sent me into psychosis this time, where on the way there, I was fine. But on the way back, went into a full-blown panic attack and traumatized me again and didn't leave that whole summer. Now, summer 2022 was spent inside. I was vlogging everything I was doing. I really got into yoga during this time. I would open up my windows, light my incense, and I would do yoga. I would do my meditation. I would do my breathwork practices. I would, I have a big property, so I'd spend time out here. I would vlog everything that I was doing and hoping that I was able to get over this anxiety. So I went on this whole deep spiritual journey, and I was watching a lot of spiritual creators on YouTube, and I came across Hitomi Machizuki. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. And she's a spiritual YouTuber that I love so much. I still love to this day. And I binge watched like so many of her videos this night that I found her YouTube channel. I think it was in May 2022. And I went on a whole deep dive on her lore and everything. And I was so inspired by the way that she lived, like, the way she ate. She was like vegan, she traveled, she did all this other kind of stuff that I wanted to do. So I was just like, in the meantime, well, I'm scared to travel. Let me do Hitimi Mochizuki things. So I would make like different recipes like her, and I would do my meditations and yoga practices, and I would do everything she does minus the traveling and the leaving the house and everything like that. And Hitimi Mochizuki really saved me during this time. Like, she really saved me during this time. I cannot even stress that enough. I think even like Isabel Page too. I was watching Hitimi Mochizuki and Isabel Page. Those two, I don't even know what I would do during this time without them. Both of them inspired me to continue vlogging. And I think around this time, Billie Eilish released Guitar Songs, where it featured 2 singles, TV and the 30th. And those songs are really nostalgic for me. Those songs just remind me that if I listen to those songs, it will take me right back to summer 2022, where I was dealing with this anxiety. I was eating strawberry Pocky Sticks, watching Hitimi Mochizuki and Isabel Page, and doing my whole spiritual stuff. And those songs are really nostalgic. I just had to bring that up too. And then Lizzo dropped her album Special. And when I hear this album, it's really emotional because it gives me the same feelings as the guitar songs do, because the guitar songs and Isabel Page and Hitimi Mochizuki and Special by Lizzo really helped me during this time. That's why I really am so into like the art of making videos and the art of making music and painting and everything like that, because art can really save people's lives. It's actually really crazy how people just like making art, putting their experiences into music and videos and whatever can really save someone. And it really did for me during this time. It's actually so crazy to think about. So I just remember like sitting outside during like a monsoon storm, listening to Coldplay by Lizzo, and this song is so dear to me. Like, Coldplay by Lizzo, give it a listen. It's the last song on the Special album, and it samples a Coldplay song, actually. And this song is so dear to me, and I just remember like sitting outside during the thunderstorm listening to Coldplay by Lizzo and just wishing that I was able to get over this anxiety. I did not want to feel this. I just wanted to leave the house and go places and be normal and hang out with my friends and make friends and go to school and whatever else. I don't remember much about the rest of the year, except for I just did a bunch of vlogging and not leaving the house and being nostalgic and wanting to go back to 2019 and whatever else. Doing a whole lot of the same thing every day. Waking up, vlogging, meditation, yoga, listening to music, watching videos, and vlogging some more, editing, and going to sleep. So then I got to a point where I was just like, I cannot do this vlogging anymore. I was just acting and doing too much and just not being myself. And I was just like, I need to stop doing this. I need to delete everything. So I deleted everything. And I start making beats on the laptop, first putting together loops, then like using my little keyboard to like do melodies and whatever else. And I ordered a keyboard to do that too. And I was just like really in my beat making vibe. And then I started painting stuff, and I was just like really starting to be creative. And I bleached my hair for the first time and everything like that. And I was just really getting creative. And I was just like, even though I'm going through this stuff right now, at least I'm being creative and finding a creative outlet with my paintings and my beats and my videos. Even though I had a deep hatred for my videos because I was putting on an act, I still would make like my beat making videos, and I would still, watch videos that inspired me, listen to music that inspired me for the beats and everything like that. And I was having a good time. Then I was like, maybe the beat making videos aren't for me. Let me just start posting beats. So I would just like make beats and post them on my YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is like ran through, I fear. First it was get ready with me's in the beginning. Then it was vlogs. Then it was beat making videos. Then it was beats. And now it's a podcast. And now I don't even know what direction I'm going in next. So I fear this YouTube has been through. But that's besides the point. Then I started like making beats, but then, during this time I was just like, okay, now I'm just like making my beats. I found something that I like to do. It's just, I don't like to do the videos that much anymore. And then I start therapy, and I obviously have to do online therapy because I'm afraid to leave the house. So then I started doing therapy, and she's like, yeah, you have like generalized anxiety disorder or whatever it was. And she had me start doing exposure therapy, where I had to go out and write down like where I went, how I felt. And I wasn't allowed to use my phone as like a distraction. And I was just like, well, I really want to go to Sonic tomorrow, but I'm scared because it's like a 20-minute drive. And she was like, okay, write it down, go to Sonic tomorrow, and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go. So I wasn't really doing it a lot, and I was just like, this is so stupid. The exposure therapy is not working, and it's almost making it worse. So I just want to stop this therapy altogether. So after like maybe 2 months of doing this therapy and not getting a lot of progress and maybe going to a 10-minute drive every once in a while, it wasn't really helping. So then I get my permit, and the place that I get my permit from is maybe a 10-minute drive. So I was already nervous, and I did the test at home, and I had to go and get the picture for it. And I was really nervous there, obviously, because I had the anxiety. So then my lips were sort of like tingling. So I look like this in the permit photo, which thank God I don't look like this in my driver's license photo. I was like looking a mess. So I got that, and after I got my permit, I would just drive around for like hours with my mom, like around my neighborhood and nearby neighborhoods, because that's how far I could go. And after doing that a while, it's just like, I need to start getting out of the neighborhoods and leaving. So I would start inch by inch leaving, going places. I would start hanging out with my friends again, and I would go places, and I would just go and force myself. And even though I was feeling those feelings, I would just go. So then I would be hanging out feeling like, oh, I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm going to ruin the whole thing for everyone. So I would just like take a minute and be like, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know how I sort of like conquered that thing, but it would just go away. Then one day I got into Anything Goes with Emma Chamberlain. I really got into her podcast, and I loved it so much. And I remember listening to this one podcast episode where she talked about her experience with derealization and anxiety and all this other kind of stuff, I think. And then she talked about how it scared her for so long and all this other kind of stuff. But something that helped her was to not fight the anxiety, but rather just allow it to happen. So if you're like out at a dinner, instead of like, oh my God, I'm having a panic attack, I'm going to freak out, please stop, don't do it. Excuse yourself, go into the bathroom and just let it happen. Don't try to fight it. So that resonated so much, because I was like, the breath work's not working, the meditation's not working, the yoga's not working, the therapy's not working, and the exposure therapy's not working. So I was like, this might just work. So then I go somewhere with this new mindset, and I'm like, I'm gonna use it. So then it takes me a little while, and it takes me a few times more to leave the house with this mindset, and I continue leaving, and I continue going places, and I continue hanging out with my friends around the town. And the more I apply this, don't fight the anxiety, let it happen, the better I started feeling. So I would be hanging out with my friends a lot more, and I would be doing a lot more stuff. And fast forward to summer 2023, I finally get my license. I have the same exact haircut with the same exact color in my license, by the way. And my license photo, I'm not having a freak out. I'm not doing much. I had to take my driver's license test, and I drove around without a freak out. And I started doing a lot more stuff without a freak out, just being like, I'm just allowing it to happen. I'm not going to fight the anxiety. So slowly but surely, I continue to make progress. And I decide to go to in-person school. And even though sometimes in class, like I start to feel a freak out, I just sit there and just allow it to happen. First, like maybe the first few weeks of school, I would have to like, step out and go to the bathroom, whatever. But there was this one class where I was not allowed to do that. So I kind of had to like train myself to stay calm. But I think the biggest progress that helped this was going to school and being able to sit there for the hour of that class, of each class, and control my anxiety, not really control it, but just allow it to happen. So when I would go into class and I would sit down and I would be like, oh my gosh, I still have an hour of this, and like freaking out, I would just allow it to happen and allow it to move through my body. And during that time of going to school, that really, really helped my anxiety. So then afterwards, I just completely almost got rid of it fully. I was starting to go a lot more places and do a lot more stuff. And in summer 2024, I went to my first concert. I had my first little like job sort of thing, and I was doing so much. And even on the way down to the concert and everything like that, I was still like freaking out and having like that anxiety in me, but I would just allow it. And now fast forward to present day 2025, and I am better than ever, going a lot more places, driving myself to like other towns. I went to a town 2 hours away from here last week, and I'm going again with my friend, and I'm going to another town about an hour away for like a dinner with one of my other friends, and I'm traveling to another state with my other friend in May too. And I'm just like, I'm getting out more, I'm doing a lot more stuff. And I have never been so good with my anxiety, because even though that agoraphobia moment, and not to mention, I realized it wasn't generalized anxiety, it was agoraphobia after I did some research about it and talked to some few people about it. Anyway, even though I was sort of like dealing with anxiety for my whole entire life, and that agoraphobia moment was for that like from 2021 to beginning of 2023, I've always had anxiety like my whole life. So now I have never been so good with my anxiety. Like it's so much better, and I'm so thankful for that time, for teaching me about the mental health of it, and like being able to, it not only helped me control the anxiety emotions, but it's also really helpful for any emotions. If you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling sadness, allowing it to happen and just allowing it to flow through you. You know, like that one, what's the one theory that's like let them theory, where like what if your friend or if your significant other or something like that is going to places and not inviting you, or it's making you jealous or anything, just let them. And it feels like you can just let them. You can't control them. It's only going to make it worse if you trip out about it and you make it a whole big deal and whatever else, and you freak out about it and you're jealous about it. Same thing with your emotions. If you're going to freak out about your emotions, you're only going to make them worse. So just allow them to happen and allow it to move through you. So I'm really happy. I'm really thankful for what it taught me. And, you know, it taught me that I liked to paint, that I like to do outfits, that I like to make videos, that I like to make beats. Like it taught me all that too. And I'm really thankful for that period of life. And not saying that I still have like anxiety here and there. Yeah, I definitely do. I don't know if I'm like lacking in some sort of vitamin or something, but when I like am out and I'm like laughing and kikiing with everyone, my lips still do go like numb and tingly, and under my eye twitches here and whatever else. I don't know why that happens. I might be lacking in something. I don't know. I might have to go to the doctor about that. I'm not saying that doesn't still trigger me sometimes, but I'm able to flow with it and allow it to happen. And it's actually crazy to me. It's actually crazy to me how far I've came, and I'm very proud of myself for all that. I don't even know what like the type of person I would be without that experience. Even though I do find myself like looking back at the time being so mad that I was too scared to go to in-person school, and I missed out on so much of my 14, 15 and beginning of 16-year-old ages, and high school, half of high school and everything else like that. Like I was so mad for so long that I missed out on like the experience of being a young teenager and going out and hanging out with friends and going to school and, you know, everything like that. Even though I was so mad that I missed out on that, I'm thankful that I got to experience this, because it taught me a lot about spirituality. It's taught me a lot about art. It taught me a lot about how art can impact us and make us feel stuff. And it also taught me a lot about myself and emotions. I could be an artist and a therapist at this point if I wanted to. Just kidding, I couldn't. It was a learning experience, and I'm glad that I went through it, and I'm glad that I got over it myself. And that was what I went through from 2021 to the beginning of 2023. It was a lot. I still don't know if the tretinoin had any part in it, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with me, because I sort of manifested it in a way of just randomly developing this anxiety one day, and then having a panic attack in front of everyone, and then it traumatizing me and going on until I got over it. And even though it's been 2 years and I still find myself dealing with anxiousness and stuff sometimes, it's so much more controllable, and it's so quick to go away now. So even though I was essentially robbed of 3 years of my life, I feel like I'm making it back now. I feel very proud of myself, how far I've come, and all the things that I'm doing now, and all the experiences I'm going to continue experiencing. Follow me on Instagram at Sam Karima. Follow me on TikTok at Skinny Donut 1. See you guys next week. Maybe. Hopefully I can get this one out in time. I have so much to do. Oh my gosh. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have to wake up in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 hours. Nice. I had 2 Domino's pizzas, by the way. And like a cookie dough blizzard like an hour ago, so I fear I'll be up for a little while and sleep deprived tomorrow. That's nice. See you guys next week.